Hello readers and writers, welcome to my channel. My name is Jennifer. I'm a writer, an actress, and a dance hobbyist. This is my intro video. I decided to make this channel to document my writing experience and my journey to traditional publishing. I have a second channel that focuses on screenwriting and filmmaking. I'll link that down below. But this channel will primarily focus on novel writing, short stories, what I'm reading, book reviews, lifestyle, and of course, acting and dancing. I decided to separate my content so that I could solely focus on the content that I'm making. While screenwriting and novel writing are my passions, the same can't be said for others who write. This is my intro video. I have this pumpkin right here that I can play with. Instead of just leaving my hands at my side or moving them around, I can have something solid to hold on to, which kind of helps. I don't know, sometimes I get nervous talking to a camera. I don't know why, but I do. And having something tangible to touch kind of grounds me, if that makes sense. Anyway, my hopes for this channel is to build a writing community, a safe place for others to ask questions or get inspired, or for me to even get inspired by you. I want to be able to share my stories with you and talk about my progress, share my acting goals and my experience, and also sprinkle in a little bit of my dancing hobby. I'm currently taking 4 dancing classes, 2 ballet, 1 jazz, and tap. They are adult dance classes offered at a local studio. From age 18 to 16, I attended jazz classes, and as an adult, I've taken hip-hop class, tap, ballet, whatever kind of dance class I could find throughout my adult life. But I never really felt like the other studios I went to really focused on form and making you a better dancer. The studio I'm currently training at feels very much like they care. Like they actually want you to be as best dancer, even as an adult, that you can be, which is fantastic by me. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I live in Southern California. I'm married, I have 2 dogs, and I'm currently filming in my office. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and I always dress up regardless if I go to a party or if I just stay home. For the past several years, I have been going to Chipotle and getting myself a burrito, fully costumed. My love for writing began at a very young age. I memorized Little Red Riding Hood. I don't remember this, but people from my family told me that I would bring my little tattered copy of Little Red Riding Hood out to them, or in the living room, in the kitchen, wherever they were in the house, and I would read to them when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I wasn't actually reading to them. I had memorized a lot of it and was reciting the book to them, but they thought it was cute and that I was reading to them. As a teenager, I gravitated more towards horror and suspense. In my early adult years, I read horror / romantasy. I don't even know if the term romantasy existed back then. I'll have to look that up. Think Twilight. When I went to college majoring in English, that's when I discovered all genres and fell in love with reading and not just focusing on one specific genre or another. I read the classics, I read modern, discovering so many books and authors that I previously hadn't even known existed taught me a lot about life and myself. Through literature, I learned to question everything and to see people in the world through a different lens. When I graduated, I knew I wanted to continue and focus on creative writing, but I took a screenwriting course during my last year as an undergrad, and I fell in love. So I ended up getting into the MFA program and getting a Master's of Fine Arts in Creative Writing and Writing for the Performing Arts with a focus in screenwriting. The program I was in allowed me to take other creative writing programs, but I primarily stuck to screenwriting and creative writing. In the 2 years I was in graduate school, I wrote an abundance of scripts and stories, novels, that I did not finish. In the program for the creative writing side, I'm not sure if the program was meant for you to actually write a full draft or first draft. It was more just to get the idea out and for people to give you perspective on that idea. On the screenwriting side, we wrote full pilots and nearly completed features. We worked heavily on outlining character arcs and world building. It's now been 3 years since I graduated. Seriously, can't believe it's been that long. While screenwriting was something that was new to me, and the first time I ever wrote a screenplay was in that undergrad class, but novel writing, I started that when I was young. I think I was around 12 or 13 when I wrote my first mermaid novel. Unfortunately, I do not have it anymore. The computer I had, the battery died on it, and I had asked my father to exchange or to replace the battery, but for some reason he couldn't do it, so everything that was on that computer was lost. But I still remember parts of it. In my head, I think that it was a good story, that it had a lot of potential. I don't know if I would think the same 12, 13-year-old writing a novel, mermaid tale. Someday I might try to take my memories and rewrite it. I don't know. Something to think about. The novels I'm currently writing, I'll be discussing in my next vlogs, or writing vlogs. When it comes to acting, I started acting at around 17, but unfortunately my mom was very ill for a good portion of my last few years as a teenager, and I didn't really get to pursue it as much as I wanted. And then in my early 20s, I went full force, but I ended up not liking a lot of the roles that I was being sent out for. Looking back, I blame myself because I was presenting myself more as this kind of like busty, sexy type character. And I didn't want to play those characters, but I had presented myself like that, and people see what you put out there, and that is what I was allowing people to see in my photos. Instead of just being myself, I was trying to mimic what I saw on TV. And while imitating people that are successful can work in your favor, oftentimes it's best just to be you, and the people or the roles that are meant to come in your path will if you are your authentic self. That's something I learned through my experience in the industry. I can go through that in a different video, but now I am making a comeback. I am SAG-AFTRA eligible. I do not have representation. I once did. I had 2 commercial agencies and 1 theatrical. This was a long time ago, and I no longer have connections to them. So I am starting from scratch. I am actively submitting on Actors Access, Backstage, and casting networks. I will definitely make a video on that process and my acting setup. I think that it will be fun to kind of go over what I have. My setup is very simple, and hopefully be able to help those who want to get into acting. I'm definitely excited to continue to post on this channel and share with you my writing journey, acting, dancing, whatever else I do in the creative sphere. I really hope that I can inspire and motivate you to go after your dreams, keep writing, maybe even find your next favorite book. I'm constantly reading. I usually read 3 books at a time. I have a book on my Kindle that I read before I go to bed at night. I have books on Audible that I listen to while I'm driving. And then of course I have all my physical books. So anyway, I'm going to end this intro video here and get started on my next vlog. I'm hoping to post at least twice a week and on my other social media platforms. I will link them all down below, so go ahead and give me a like and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. Until next time, happy reading and writing.